G'day everyone. What we're going to do today, we're actually going to try a couple of different things. I'm going to do a shoot in the canola, but I'm also going to try this with the iPhone as well as using the A7 III and the Tamron. Now I'm pretty sure it's on a 56mm on the iPhone, so I'll probably stick a couple of shots at that focal length just to see how they both compare, because I'm really interested to see how the new iPhone X Max goes as well. This is Kiara, obviously. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to go down this little road and do a little sort of country setting down there as well to finish the day. But I'm going to use the Profoto B10 in the still shots, but we'll also, like I said, have a look and just see how the iPhone looks as well, and I'll throw that in so you can check that too. Obviously though, I'll do one without flash with both cameras, so at least you can see how it is without the flash on them. So we'll have a look at that now. All right, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to do just a couple of plain ones just to see how this dynamic range is. Now I'm going to go in and do the zoom. So now I'm 2 times, which is probably about, like I said, about that 58mm. It's going to be interesting to see how the dynamic range works in this, the HDR shooting. All right, so I've taken both of those and they look quite nice. And we'll have a look at that when we go back into the studio. But what I'll do now is I'll grab my camera. Now I'm going to take one initially with Kiara without the flash so that you can compare how both cameras actually work. Now I'm going to go base ISO.
Fourth person! Go away!
Kiara's getting all these guys beeping their horns as they go past.
Oh, my shoes are wrecked. I hope you know that, David.
Are they wrecked now? Kiara's got wrecked shoes. Now I might have to simulate the aperture later on. I'm going to shoot f2 and I'm going to try and get a similar look to what I saw on the iPhone. Okay. So I'm trying to keep the background as well as the foreground in, so I'm trying to watch my exposure. Okay, look this way. And so we'll see how they come directly out of camera. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to put the flash on. So now I should be able to light Kiara up. That's what it needs really. So I'm going to still get my ambient shot, which I was pretty happy with the previous one. I'm just going to see how this goes. So I'm going to have to adjust the exposure on this. So I'm using the Profoto B10. I'm just using it on manual. Just trying to see if I can overpower that light coming from behind Kiara. So I've got it on about a setting of 8. Yeah, that's pretty good now, I think. Okay, so look this way. Yep. So I'll try a couple of wide ones and then a couple of... Now that's lighting the front there. So I need to tilt this up a little bit. I've got the light a fair way from Kiara, so it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, okay, that'll do. Okay, so what I've done here is I've actually put the flash to the left-hand side a little bit above Kiara's head height and then obviously lit her up. Now I've tried to balance the ambient light with the flash exposure, and remember you're looking at the JPEGs straight out of the camera here, so they're not RAW files, these are JPEGs unedited, so it gives you an idea about how they'll come out straight out of camera. When we looked at the iPhone itself, I was a little bit surprised because the lighting was very, very grey and it didn't handle that lighting condition very well. Later on the lighting did come out, and we'll look at those results a little bit later on, but it certainly doesn't handle very flat sort of grey conditions very well, and the images look better on the camera on the actual iPhone actually than they do when you bring them onto the computer. This was using the 2x zoom. I wanted to see how that worked. I was quite happy with that, but again it's very flat. This is the A7 III. You can see it's got much more colour straight out of camera than what the iPhone actually does. Remember, these are all unedited, so they're all straight out of camera using the normal camera app on the iPhone. If we look side by side, the iPhone's on the left, the A7 III is on the right hand side. You can see that I do think the A7 III looks much nicer, but the iPhone's not bad in that situation. Here, this is much better now with the iPhone because the lighting conditions improve drastically. It's much more even lighting and it's a bit sunnier. So it has improved a lot compared to the other images that I showed you. These are the ones actually out of the A7 III though. You can see it does look much nicer. I think the image looks much nicer. There's just a totally different look when you're looking at the full frame. We're going to look at these side by side in a second and you'll see what I mean. The iPhone's on the left hand side obviously, and the A7 III is on the right hand side. You can see the difference in the color as well. And again, you can see the differences in the color here. The iPhone is more neutral though, which is interesting. The A7 III is a bit warmer. We moved then to another location which was a lot sunnier. The iPhone did much better here. So this is the iPhone result, and I was really pleased. I did tilt her head towards the sun a little bit. Again, this is in full sun with the iPhone, and it's really quite a nice result. It's much better than before. This is another one with the iPhone. Again, I'm really quite happy with how it actually performed. And this, though, is with the A7 III. Again, you can see the difference in color between the two, between the one on the left, which is the iPhone, and the one on the right, which is the A7 III. But overall, you know, quite nice results. This one here, again, we did it later on. It's sunny, so you can see the iPhone has handled this quite well, and I was surprised how well it does handle it if the lighting conditions are quite good. Here, you can see the iPhone on the left, and I've got the A7 III on the right-hand side, although the sun came out, so they are a little bit different, but I just wanted to show you the results that we've got there. So please let me know what you think down below. I'd love to know in the comments what you think about this test. Look, it's not scientific. I just wanted to show how the iPhone could compare to an A7 III. The A7 III is by far better, but when the lighting's actually really nice, the iPhone actually did very, very well. So let me know your comments down below, and I'll see you all again for the next video. Bye for now.